What's in my wallet? Hey, what is up guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be doing a what's in my wallet video, going through all of the credit cards that I currently have and what is my current credit card strategy when it comes to the credit cards that I have selected and are currently in my wallet. And we'll be walking through my entire credit card journey from where it started to where we are now, why I've selected the cards that I have, and my general overall credit card strategy when it comes to selecting credit cards and putting those in my wallet and in my overall mix. We'll also be diving into rewards, benefits, and maybe where some of these credit cards might make sense in your strategy. But before we dive in, of course, I do want to mention if you'd like to support the channel, you can go ahead and check out the credit card offers link down below. It's that first link down below in the description. It's a great way to help out and support the channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the what's in my wallet. So we're going to be doing this in chronological order. The first credit card that I ever had was the Wells Fargo student card, which now has been product changed over to the Wells Fargo Platinum card. Now, currently this card only gives about 1% cash back, no annual fee, of course. It's not necessarily the greatest credit card. It has a relatively low credit limit, but it is the first credit card that I ever started with. I got it as a Wells Fargo student card because back then Chase did not even have a student card like the Chase Freedom Rise or anything available. I actually went to them first to try and get the Chase Freedom Unlimited originally. We'll be talking about more of that later, and they declined me. So then I was like, okay, well, let me hop over to Wells Fargo. Didn't have any accounts with them, and I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can get a student card, and they were the first company that actually approved me for my very first credit card. Now, they overall aren't the best of companies in general, but they at least offered me a card, and it was where I got my foot in the door and where I got started. Now, I will say in general, to get accepted with a student card, of course, you do need to be a college student. At the time I was, so that was what worked out for me. It's not necessarily the greatest rewards, but it is at least a way to get your first credit card, and it could be a potentially good option for you. Again, for me, it's more or less just a sock drawer card, as they may say, because I really don't spend too much on it just because I keep it around for my credit history, and that's great, but overall, it really doesn't serve too much for me in my current setup. Moving on to my second credit card, that is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Now, this personally is one of my favorite credit cards because it is a flat rate 1.5% cash back across the board. It's definitely one of the best credit cards that you can get, and it was originally the first card that I tried to apply for, so I was like, hey, now that I've already got myself established with the Wells Fargo student card, which honestly I don't even think they even offer that card anymore, or now with the Wells Fargo Platinum, that it got product changed to, I was like, okay, well, now that I'm a little more established, let me try and get that Chase Freedom Unlimited, which I did get approved for at that time, which is really great. Now, it doesn't have any annual fees, which is nice, and in general, something you're going to find common across my setup is I really don't like annual fees, honestly, and I'll describe more on that a little bit later as well. That's honestly grounded for a whole other separate video about my opinions and thoughts about that in general. But overall, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, you have 1.5% cash back across the board, which is the main benefit because it is sort of like a catch-all card. Now, I get that it doesn't necessarily offer 2% cash back flat rate on everything, which is something that you could get with like a Citi double cash card. But at the end of the day, for me, it is really just about convenience with that card. It's nice. It's already in one platform. I'm already using Chase anyway, so for me, it just made a lot of sense to go with the Freedom Unlimited, and it is just an easy catch-all cash back card. Now, it does also offer some bonuses depending on the time of the year you may be looking at the offer, or depending on the cash back. Sometimes they do offer 3% on like dining or drugstores, things like that, so that is something worth considering, at least if you're looking at just maximizing your overall percent cash back. But in general, most of the time, it's really going to be for that 1.5% cash back flat rate across everything, and it is a Visa card, so most places you can use it. Moving in at the number 3 spot, I have the Apple Card. Now, the Apple Card is sort of a hot water debate type card. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it. For me, it just made a lot of sense. If you already use iPhone, Apple device, smartwatch, Apple Watch, things like that, it is just a very convenient and easy to use card. In addition to that, too, I do want to clarify the Apple Card is not just for use at Apple stores. I know some people sort of get that confused just because it sort of maybe is marketed almost like a store card in a little bit of ways, but It is not. You can use it anywhere, basically. So it is a 2% cash back across the board if you're using Apple Pay, and it's only 1% if you're using the metal card, which is hence why I just have the metal card sitting in my drawer. Honestly, there's not really much use for it. I've actually never used the metal card in person, but it is cool, of course, just to have, and it is metal, so it's nice to, clank around and things like that. But besides that, you can get 3% sometimes with certain merchants that they do offer. And when I actually got the card, they did have a sign-up bonus of like 5% at Apple. They don't currently offer that as far as I'm aware, but you can still get 3% on Apple purchases, things like the iTunes Store or Apple subscriptions, things like that, maybe like Apple Music. So there are some nice little Apple-based perks like that still exist within the card. And for me, it is a nice flat rate 2% cash back. So basically, wherever I can use Apple Pay, I can get that extra 0.5% cash back. I will go with the Apple Card over the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and overall, that's hence one of the main reasons why I still use and like the Apple Card in general. It is also a very simple and easy approval process, again, and you don't really have to create. Most people already have an Apple ID. Again, if you are an iPhone user, then most people already have an Apple account, and so it's very easy to get set up with. Moving in at the number 4 spot, we have the Chase Freedom Flex. Now, hands down, this is probably one of my favorite credit cards in my overall setup due to the rotating categories and all of the other perks and benefits that come with it. Now, the Chase Freedom Flex does have a rotating 5% cashback category depending on the quarter of the year that you are in. Now, it really just depends on maybe where your spending's at as to whether or not you can necessarily get value with that. Currently, the quarter right now is on gas stations, which is great for me. So that's been my go-to gas station card for maximizing that 5% cash back. Now, it is up to a certain limit. Of course, you can't just get unlimited, but, within reason, within that general spending range, you're probably not going to spend over that anyway, most of the time on that 5% cashback category. So that's one of the nice perks. Now, in general, besides that, spending that's not within that is only up to 1% cashback. So in general, you want to try to make sure that you're at least spending on those categories that are in that 5% cashback range, or else you're not really getting too much maximum value. But one other little secret perk that I've been maximizing use out of, and that depends on if you even find benefit from this, but the Chase Freedom Flex is a World Elite MasterCard. Now, World Elite MasterCards do come with certain perks and benefits, one of which being Voodoo rewards. So if you're into movies and things like that, I know this is probably not, 99% of you watching this video probably don't care and don't even know what Voodoo or Fandango, but if you do purchase movie tickets through Fandango, if you're going to the movie theaters, or if you're watching at home and purchasing or renting movies through Voodoo, the 1% of you watching this credit card video, you can get currently up to the end of September of this year. They extended it an extra year. It was supposed to end last year, and then they were like, hey, let's go another year on this. You can get 25% cash back through Voodoo credits and Fandango credits. So it's only specific to Voodoo and Fandango, and hey, maybe they'll extend another year. I hope. I've been using the heck out of that. And yeah, so every $20 you spend on there, you get $5 as a credit back. So it doesn't have to do with your, it's not actual cash back. It is just a kind of like a store credit that you get, but that's insane. For $20, you get $5. So yeah, it promotes more spending, but ultimately, if you were going to do that spending anyway on movie tickets or streaming movies and things like that, purchases through Voodoo or Fandango, then boom, there you go. And you can do this with any World Elite MasterCard, by the way, so it doesn't necessarily even have to be the Chase Freedom Flex. It could be any other World Elite MasterCard as well. It's just that's the World Elite MasterCard that I ended up going with, again, because the rotating categories are pretty nice, and I do really like the Chase Freedom Flex in general. Moving in, last but not least, at the number 5 spot, which I recently just got, is the Amazon Prime Rewards. Now, currently, I actually don't have Prime, so there's 2 different versions of this credit card. There is the regular Amazon Rewards card, and then the Amazon Prime Rewards. So the Amazon Rewards, which is the version that I have, because personally, I don't do a ton of spending on Amazon. I don't really need to, so that is 3% on Amazon, whereas the Prime Rewards is actually 5% on Amazon, and it is unlimited as well. Beyond that, they do also offer you you. Some other percentages like 1% on everything, which is like, okay, that's pretty much every card. And then 2% on select things. So gas stations, I know, is one of them, and a few other aspects as well. With the Amazon card. Now, this is a Chase co-branded card as well, so keep that in mind if you are on that Chase 524 limitation, where you can get only up to 5 Chase cards in the last 24 months. So it is something worth considering with this Amazon card. Again, it is with Chase, so that's why I ended up going with it, and there's no annual fee. Again, something you'll find common across all of my credit cards that are in my setup is that none of them have annual fees. And really one of the main reasons, and again, I can do a whole separate video on this, is just because you can fluctuate your spending and not necessarily feel like you need to keep up with a certain level of spending to maximize your rewards. You can keep your spending at whatever you personally need to within your financial budget and your financial plan, so that then you can adjust things accordingly and not have to worry about reaching, oh, I need to make sure I hit that minimum spend to actually get value out of this card. So that's one of the main reasons, again, why I just have no annual fees across my overall credit card strategy and setup. But guys, that is my entire credit card setup, the 5 credit cards I currently have and what I am doing with them. Generally, maximizing the rewards for places that I spend at. It just makes a lot of sense. Of course, I'd like to add, one of the cards I've been on my radar, the Citi Custom Cash. That's probably one that I have in my scopes as maybe one of my next cards. That may make sense for my overall credit card strategy. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to smash that like button. Leave a comment down below what your credit card strategy is, what your current credit card setup is. I'd love to hear about it. And again, if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Again, if you do want to help out and support the channel, I do have links below to my favorite credit cards, of course, some of which are affiliate links. It's a great way to help out and support the channel. But anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.